Hello, everybody. This is StockerFinance.co with David Scheuer, and today I'm presenting to you how to choose the right broker. Obviously, choosing the right broker is very important, but before you do this, you want to ask yourself some questions, such as what's your need? So, first off, is your need day trading? Are you trying to find a broker for a retirement fund? Are you swing trading? Now, swing trading means trades. Some people consider it overnight. I consider it usually more along the lines of within a week. So it's just a little longer than day trading. Are you trying to find one for long-term investments, meaning you're going to buy a few stocks or a few bonds, or you're just going to hold them, but it's not necessarily an IRA. Now, you also want to ask yourself, how experienced are you? Do you want lots of advanced tools and technology and research, or do you want the simplest broker ever with just buy and sell, and that's all you need? Now, how much capital do you have to invest? Some brokers don't have account minimums, such as TD Ameritrade and Ally. You can go straight in and you can just invest however much you want. But some brokers have an account minimum, meaning that you have to invest at least $1,000 or $10,000 or however much to start your account. So, and another one to go along with this account minimum is, do you want a broker that gives good bonuses to larger accounts? So this might not apply to everyone. If you have a small account, this doesn't really apply to you at all. But sometimes brokers, when you invest a large amount of money, usually it's in like the $100,000 range or above, you get a bonus, such as a $500 bonus or a certain amount of trades for free, etc. So you want to look if they give you good bonuses, because that is important when you're investing a large amount of money into a broker, if they are going to give you good bonuses for you putting your money with them. So next, here are my favorites for day trading. So TD Ameritrade is great for day trading. It's got high fees, a great website and app. It's got lots of good tools, so pretty average all across there. The higher fees is kind of a disappointment. It's around $7.85, which is the industry average right now. But to be honest, I think the industry average is going towards lower fees, more in the Ally Invest fee, which is about $4.85, or about $5, I'm pretty sure. However, with Ally Invest, as you can tell here, it's $3.95 per trade for larger day trading accounts, which have at least 30 monthly trades, which means you're a true day trader because you're trading every single day. So back to TD Ameritrade here. They have 24 hours of service. Their tools are excellent, but the best thing, which I'll get into later, is their Thinkorswim platform. So also in the middle here, we have Robinhood. No fees, it's only an app, which can be kind of disappointing to some people. If you're older and you don't really like using the smartphone apps and stuff, then sometimes you want to use your computer. Personally, I like trading on my computer more than my phone. I just feel more secure. I feel like I can do research quicker. I don't have to log out of the app and go to something else to look something up. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, Robinhood is only an app as far as I'm concerned right now, or as far as I know. It's very simple to use, super simple. One thing I have heard is that trades don't register very fast, and that is kind of a disappointment, because if you're trying to get a trade out at a certain price and then it executes at a higher price than what you're trying to sell at or trying to buy at, it could really screw you up. So that's what I've heard. That's just kind of a rumor. I personally actually haven't used Robinhood, but I've heard it's very good, so that's why I threw it on here. So next up is best for IRAs and long-term investing. So Fidelity and most of these here are very established They're very established brokers. All of these have been around forever, and most of these have pretty low fees, which is all good, and they have lots of good research. So for long-term investments and for Roth IRAs, these are pretty much, I think, the best you can get here. Fidelity is hard to beat. I mean, they have extremely low fees. They're extremely established, which means they have great research and just tons of information for learning about companies, stocks, mutual funds, whatever. They have 10,000 no transaction fee mutual funds, so that's pretty awesome. And they just have a bunch of great tools. To be honest, their tools are about as comparable to the rest of them. They're pretty average. I don't think they're anything special, but that's about it there. So Charles Schwab, I don't use Charles Schwab very much, but they have low fees, low-cost mutual funds and ETFs, free trades in the Schwab IRA account, which is pretty nice. It's a nice little bonus there. And again, there's an established account. Not as good as Fidelity, in my opinion, for long-term investing in IRAs or RIAs, but pretty close. Vanguard. Now, Vanguard is best known for its index funds. It's extremely low cost. Its average expense ratio is 0.18%. The industry average is 1.01%. Now, another one that I think is a little overlooked with Vanguard is their education. So if you're a beginner and you have, I know I've recommended people in past videos, if you're young, you want to open a Vanguard account at a very young age because compound interest. But another thing you can do is take advantage of their education. They have tons of videos that aren't on YouTube and they're just really valuable. I've personally gone through and just read books that they've written, and I've read over tons of articles that they have. Their education center is just incredible. So I highly suggest, whether you're an experienced investor or just a beginner, to go check that out and learn something new. All right, so here's my personal favorites. I have 3 favorites on here. They're not in order. So this doesn't mean TD Ameritrade is my #1 favorite, although I do have to admit it is the one I use most currently. But I've used a lot of brokers and I've switched a lot of multiple times. So first off, TD Ameritrade, in my opinion, is the best for active investing, or one of the best at least. Its positives are super easy to use. Its app is awesome, and along with its website. Now, its thinkorswim trading software is something that's very advanced. It's cutting edge service. It's amazing, and I really highly recommend using this, but it does take a while to learn, so that is kind of a negative there, but I'll talk about the negatives in a second. So it has 24-hour customer service, similar to a lot of brokers these days. Personally, the people at TD Ameritrade are great. Every time I talk to them, they just give me a really great experience. They solve all my problems, so I guess thank you, TD Ameritrade, for that, and that's probably a bonus. So $0 account minimum if you have a small account, or if you're just looking to invest maybe $1,000 or even just a few hundred, this is a great place to start. Good bonuses for larger accounts. Now, and most of those are like cash bonuses, by the way. So some of the negatives here. It has higher fees. As I said earlier, its fees for trades are about $7.85, which is definitely on the higher side compared to a lot of the brokers these days. Robinhood has a $0 fee, and most of them have about a $4.85 fee. So it's a little on the higher side, which is kind of a disappointment. But along with that, it has thinkorswim, which also takes a lot of practice. So you want to make sure that you're really experienced with it, because when you first open this up, it is the most confusing thing ever. But once you get used to it, once you understand how to use thinkorswim, it comes in handy with just so many things, especially if you're an active day trader or someone who just likes to trade very actively and isn't necessarily you're not just using this as a retirement account or a very long-term investment account. There's 2 versions of the app. This is something that's kind of wonky, in my opinion. It's kind of weird. There's one newer version, and then there's one older version. Now, personally, I was using the newer version for a long time until my partner told me to use the older version, and I was like, that's kind of weird. So my business partner showed me this, and I looked at the older version, and it's way simpler. I actually like it a lot more. It definitely has the older feel for it, but it doesn't run any slower. There's basically no differences besides that. I like the look of it more, and it's just a lot easier and less confusing to use, in my opinion. It's just easier also to see all of your watch lists and your investments and the information there. However, the newer one does give some new information that you can't see on the older one. So it's give or take, but I have both on my phone. And then there is some margin fees. The margin fees are pretty standard. They might be slightly higher, but it's really not too bad. I don't really margin trade that much, so it's not a big deal. For me, at least. Alright guys, this is my personal favorite #2. This is Vanguard for retirement accounts. So let's go through some positives here. Well, one that's no doubt is its extremely low fees. I mean, I already talked about the 0.18% fees over time, and this is basically just unbeatable. I really have seen no other broker be able to beat this, and I don't think anybody has beaten this on index funds. Let me know if someone has, but that's just incredible. It has a great selection of index funds as well as other funds to use, and it has great education, as I talked about, and the service is also great. Some negatives is you can't use outside funds. So if you're looking to invest in outside stocks, bonds, or maybe mutual funds and index funds that aren't part of the Vanguard collection, you can't use them. That's kind of a big disappointment for people who want to be extremely diversified in different areas of investments. Obviously, you're very diversified if you invest in an index fund, but different areas, if you want like specific stocks and then specific bonds that aren't in Vanguard, that is a big negative, and maybe Vanguard isn't for you. But I do love Vanguard, and I use it myself. All right. Also, guys, make sure to check out my video on how to get started investing for teens and why you should let your teens invest, because it's a great video and it goes along with Vanguard. I talk about it a lot, and I talk about index funds a lot, as well as compound interest. Anyways, personal favorite number 3, Ally for day traders. So I actually used Trade King back in the day. Ally ended up purchasing Trade King, and they basically joined together once that happened and morphed under Ally once Ally bought Trade King. So yeah, that's kind of interesting random fact there. But I also have used Ally, just not as much as I used the old Trade King, and not as much as I use TD Ameritrade. But I have been doing some research on it, and it looks very fantastic right now, especially for day traders. It seems like they're really trying to attract day traders and those active people who are trading consistently to their brokerage. So first off, it has extremely low fees, $4.95 to $3.95. However, I'm going to hop on over to the negatives here. The $3.95 fee starts at $100,000 plus 30 monthly trades, which means you have to be an active day trader, trading daily, and you have to have a pretty substantial account there for people who, for people who are beginners. This probably isn't you, since you're probably not going to have a very large account to start with. Anyways, so it's easy to use, which is nice. It's good education. Its app and website is excellent. I've had no problems ever with it. Sometimes its app can be a little glitchy, but I've really had no problems. It's pretty standard as far as all the broker apps go. $0 account minimum, so for beginners, that is a plus. And great customer service. I've never had a problem there. So some negatives are they're a little less established, a little newer than other brokers such as Fidelity and Charles Schwab. So they have less research and information on a lot of companies. However, you have Google these days. I mean, you can go do your own research. It's really not that big of a deal. But some of their tools are a little less advanced. And that can be a negative for some people who are super serious about trading or investing and need those tools. That's about it, though. So anyways, those are my top 3. I hope you get, this is kind of an overview of a video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and absolutely destroy that like button, as well as check out these videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.